Alright, so welcome back. So for this video, let's get to know Dust a little bit more and her story. So, Dust's story. Dust has just arrived in Naviri and has much to learn about its customs, but she knows how to make the most out of every opportunity. It had always been her childhood dream to join the traders' caravan and come to the Blue City. Her leader, Nyrok, wouldn't let her come along, so she trained harder and harder, challenging him to a sword fight every year. He beat her every time. One day, she had had enough of watching the caravan leave without her and decided to prove him wrong. She simply started walking. She crossed the entire Draskani Desert on foot, a 30-day voyage few could endure. Nyrok was impressed by her tenacity and let her join his seat for the final mile. So that's kind of her story. Her play style. Dust feels most at home in the Droskarine, where she can practice with the sword, her favorite weapon. By visiting islands where others are competing, she is able to pick up on tactics and even receive the support of helpful benefactors with the gift of shells. So that's a little bit more into Dust's story. So let's start talking about her character cards. The first one here is the Mystic Encounter. You may discard a challenge card from your hand to draw a stunt card, or vice versa, once per turn. That's kind of, okay. I don't know if that's the best ability out there. Reckless Pilot. When moving the boat for the first time each turn, you may skip 1 or 2 spaces and their rewards. Well, I don't know if I like that. I mean, I guess it just depends on where the boat is. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind skipping over the shell to get to where the trophy is, so maybe that would be a useful ability to have, but I guess it just depends on where the boat is, because I think just about everything else, except for maybe the stunt card, I would definitely still want to acquire, because, 2 fruits good, and I guess maybe the challenge card I could live skipping over, but I guess it just depends on where the boat is. So it's an okay ability. It's just, depends. It just depends on where that boat is. Okay, so here we have Battle Scars. After fighting a monster, move the bonus dice to your spent dice area instead of losing. Okay, I love that ability. That is awesome. So after you fight a monster, you move the bonus die to your spent dice area instead of losing it. Oh, that's cool. So you still lose the other dice you used in the fighting the monster, but if you got a bonus dice, you get to keep your bonus dice if you have the Battle Scars character card. That's awesome. That is probably one of the best abilities I've seen. I like that. That's a good one to have. Assuming, of course, you have a bonus die in the fight. Okay, so Chase the Crowd. Add +1 to your max roll for each other character on the same island. Huh, interesting. So add +1 to your max roll. Oh, so add basically 1 extra dice to your roll for each other character on the same island. I think that's how that ability works. I could be wrong. Yeah, because I think it'll affect focus here. So, yeah. So maybe that's a useful ability, depending if assuming there's somebody else around. That could be useful, I think, especially if you don't want to munch on fruit. That could be a good one to have. Trinite Sword. When fighting a monster, all of your fighting styles are +1 level. So that's interesting. So you have this one character card, one card here that you completed one challenge in this particular, and you're going to fight that giant mud crab. It basically turns this one into a level 2 because you have 2 of them instead of 1. That's cool. And of course you can do that with any of the 3. That I like. I like the Trinite Sword. Okay, New to the Isles. Before attempting a challenge while on the same island as another character, gain 1 shell. So if there's another person nearby and you're about to take on a challenge, you'll get a free shell if there's somebody else nearby. Okay, rise to the challenge. Before a resilience challenge, you may pay 1 shell to gain a novice dice. Oh, I like that. That's cool. So if you take on a challenge that's a resilience challenge, you can pay a shell to get a novice dice. Gain it. That's awesome. I like that ability. That's a good one too. So she's got some good ones for sure. Quick learner. When you push it on a 2-symbol challenge, advance the pushed trait one extra notch. Okay, well, I'm not 100% sure if it's 2 plus 1 of the dotted lines or if it's just 2 altogether or not, but that's still interesting. I'm assuming it's if you push it on a 2-symbol challenge, meaning there's 1 circle and 1 dotted line challenge, you can advance the push trait 1 extra notch. Huh. Interesting. That I'd have to see to understand for sure how that one works. Forged by the Sands. When you push it on a resilience challenge, move +1 on the champion board. Well, that's pretty similar to a lot of other characters' abilities for sure. Okay, Scarab Compass. This artifact is market cards cost 1 less fruit. So as long as she has the Scarab Compass, everything costs 1 less fruit-wise if she's going to be buying cards from market. So this is a character you probably will want to focus on buying cards from market, especially since she seems to prefer the Droska ring over the other locations anyway. And then if you discard this card, you can gain shells equal to your current number on the resilience dial here, for instance. Okay? And then her shield. What is her shield? Her shield upgrade is Ugrido's Grablock. You can spend 3 shells from the shield to draw a stunt card. So, it was a challenge card for Echo, it was a novice dice for Cayman, and it's a stunt card for Dust. But that's basically, that's Dust. So now you know a little bit more about Dust. Is she the character you want to play with? Who knows, maybe. She definitely did have some good ones in here for sure. I didn't like some of her character cards that much because they were kind of just normal, I guess. But she definitely had a couple in here that were just like, oh, wow, awesome abilities. So who's next?